time left.
So that will kind of round out the rest of our evening, you know, the biggest message here is stop it. The biggest message here is I'm just going to keep playing this until you go away. Okay, and brings us to the close of our meeting. So I just wanted to say, again, I really appreciate you spending your evening here and spending time with us to really brainstorm and think about things and talk about things that, frankly, I don't think are talked about enough in terms of thinking about where we want to go and what we want out of our environment here and what do we expect from our cities and what can we do to be a part of that process and help further that process. So this step, and you know, it was hard to hear what Daphne was saying about those boundaries that are placed on projects, but as you heard from Gabe here, it takes people to kind of demand some of these things and engage to be successful. And just because it costs money doesn't mean it's scary. That just means if it costs money, there just has to be a bigger return overall to justify it. So I don't think we should start with the money part. You start with the vision, and you figure out then what is it going to take to deliver on that vision to make it financially viable.
I wanted to add, just to put it a little more in context, he actually started off as an entrepreneur, food truck guy in Washington, D.C. And was one of the early guys at Zipcar, ironically enough. But that led to his appointment as the Department of Transportation head in Washington, D.C. And then from there he went to Chicago and was Department of Transportation head there. And in his book, I hadn't read the book when I interviewed him, but after reading it, he has examples of what worked, what didn't work. But he, the Chicago River, they actually created they finished the pathway. They envisioned it, they started it, and they created the pathway. So it's like the Riverwalk in San Antonio now in Chicago. And he did that all in the course of a couple of years. But it was, to your point, it was the same thing. The last incarnation of it, it was like 3 or 4 years. But he started with a vision, and then they figured out the money. And it turned out that they were actually able to get private entities to pitch in a lot of money because they benefited. Because now suddenly they could have kayaking on the river and boats and ice cream shops. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what he meant kind of by that triple bottom line.
So it's an exciting time. I guess the message is, don't let all this change be a discouraging thing. Figure out how to harness that and turn it into a positive for a positive change. And I think that only happens when we engage and express our goals and ideas and help shape it. And you being a part of this group, I think, is helping to further that cause and agenda. So with that, I will close the meeting and thank you very much for coming tonight.